Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, as always, a couple of reminders that I'm not your financial advisor and we never provide investment advice on this channel ever. So with that being said, if you're somebody new, thanks so much for joining us here in the series and for joining the channel. If you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. And for anybody that's been with us from the very beginning or you've joined us somewhere along the way, certainly glad to have you. Considering, you have so many different options, amongst the YouTube, landscape, that you continue to stay faithful, to checking in here on Investment Honey and, continue to follow, the series. So certainly appreciate that. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a look, here at Anchovy. This was a token that we talked about the last time I did a video. And, one of the things that I remember, talking about was the fact that, I wanted to see, how this token was going to fare throughout the weekend, and I think I mentioned that if it could still stay above 100K, as we headed into Monday afternoon, that I thought there might be a chance, for this to, make some moves, forward. But what we didn't anticipate, was the tanking of the market, as far as, what's going on with Solana and the price, dump there. And then obviously BTC is also, Bitcoin's taking a beating, as well in regards to its price movement, so that was not expected, either. I think this is like the first time, since like November that we've seen Bitcoin actually hit the 80K, area, range. So yeah, so there's a lot of things going on, that are leading to the fear and greed index, basically highlighting that we're in a state of extreme fear, across the blockchain and crypto itself, so keep that in mind. That's also what led to not, deciding to go ahead and do a video yesterday, but we're going to take a look at things today and we'll see, what's out there. For the most part, we'll stay in discovery mode, but like I said, I wanted to highlight, this token, as well. So before we get into all of that, but you can see, they went ahead and they had some pretty good price movement. I think it was the same day that I did a video or the next day, but it was over the weekend, so they hit, over 250K, as far as their market cap, so, but as I've also said many times, taking a look at a lot of different tokens, charts go up and they always come back down. So I'm sure that as the chart was moving up, people, especially anybody new to crypto, may be thinking, oh my gosh, I got to go ahead and jump on the train before it takes off. But here's the thing. You got to consider that anytime these tokens decide to go up, you got people that got in, at earlier levels, so they're looking to go ahead and get those initials out plus some profit, and some people go ahead and, stagger their sells, where they sell a little bit at a time, so that if the token does, end up tanking, they've pretty much mitigated their losses, so a lot of different strategies, as far as how people do go about selling instead of just deciding to go ahead and get to that, 2x and then full clip, a large sell, so some people do stagger that, but either way, we can see here, and you can see that looking at this, wick here, it dropped down to like the 60K area, so, pretty decent retracement, on this one. So, I've mentioned, the use of the Maestro bot, before, that obviously you can go ahead and set those buy dips, utilize the buy dip function, in that bot. And so it can watch the chart, for you, for those lower level entries, where it can go ahead and trigger a buy for you as long as you go ahead and you set that within the bot, and as far as like thresholds and so forth, and what you want it to trigger at, whether it's by a percentage, or by a market cap, it can, it does have the option to go ahead and set, either of those, for you. So, but either way, as far as this was concerned, it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. It did go up, it came back down, but it did hold, above that 100K area. So as far as where it's at right now, like I said, we didn't anticipate, what's going on with the market, so I still think that there's a pretty good community here. I think that we don't know how long, this market stuff's going to take place. It could be, another, few days. It could be a week, we just don't know. But I think that, there are always outliers, tokens that continue to show resilience, regardless of what the market looks like. I called a token on the channel, pre-launch, Pineapple Dex, and that one has really held really strong, in spite of what the market's done. TED was one that we looked at, as well. We didn't talk about it on the channel before I let you guys know about it. It was something that I found, and then I decided to go ahead and let you guys know about that in the last video. I think it was the last video or the video before the last video, one of those two. And that one has held up, pretty well. I think that one still might be above 100K. Let me see here. Yeah, no, actually that one actually, because I checked this morning, that one actually is sitting around 200K. So that one's still holding up pretty well in spite of the market conditions. Again, there are plenty of tokens that can hold up, but again, most do not. A lot of tokens, tend to follow the sentiments of the market. If things are going down, then people just go ahead and, sell off. So that's why you want to tend to follow tokens with narratives. So, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get away from this one. I think the other one I wanted to mention here is Infinite Money Glitch. This one actually surprised me because I thought that when they tanked, to around 6 million, that they weren't going to be heading back up, but this one, interestingly enough, I mean, it did kind of break out. I think it went above 20 million, so you can see here, and then it's retraced, but yeah, still holding up, and so obviously this one is, very much reliant, upon trading volume, in order to go and get those Solana rewards, so this one is still, in that, hovering around that $20 million market cap, area, which is quite impressive considering what the market sentiment is right now. I think in more favorable market conditions, this actually would probably still be around a $30 million market cap, if not better. So yeah, that's another one that, if you haven't looked at that one, might be something to explore, because, considering what the market is, I don't have any reason to believe that this is going to tank. So yeah, who knows, speculative speaking, I mean, they could actually make a run, for their previous all-time highs. Just don't know. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the filters now, and platforms. We're going to go ahead and look at all 4 of them. So let's see here. Nothing to do here on the Dex side. Let's see who's running boosts and ads. We'll take a look at that. So we'll check both of those off. So I don't know how that's going to affect, our results, but we'll take a look at it anyway. And let's see here. Our market cap, we're going to look at a minimum of 50K, or 50,000. Let's go to 200K. All right, so there we are. Pair age, we're going to look at 1 hour to 50 hours. And on the 24-hour change, we're going to go with our 10% minimum and see what we can find. Okay, so obviously, since we're looking at those that are boosted and those that have ads as well, we're not going to get a lot of tokens, right? But we do get some. So let's see what we've got here. And I've mentioned before, just because they've boosted or just because they've got ads, it does not mean that these tokens are going to do well. I mean, you can see even with this one at the bottom, that there's nothing going on here, in the last 5 minutes. So, okay, but it does indicate that there is money being spent in regards to marketing and trying to get their tokens some additional exposure, which, those are things that we do look at, when we join Telegram channels, right? So this one, obviously looks like they had a pretty decent run, retracement, which is not surprising at all. Still sitting above 100, K on the market cap. And the minus here on the 1 hour doesn't look too terrible yet. Okay. I wanted to make sure they do have a Telegram here. So, and I would imagine for anybody that's paying for ads and, in boosts, you're probably gonna have a Telegram. So it would be kind of odd if they didn't, but, stranger things, have been known to happen. All right, so this is the anti-Ye committee. So they're talking about Kanye West. All right, so this one, they've got ads and they've got the boost, running. So, and then this one here, FTX, looks like they're, in some pretty decent retracement, right now at the time of looking at the chart. And you can see that there looks like there have been some buys, from the bottom of this wick, okay? But they've got the ads in the boost, here as well. This one, you can just see that pretty, massive sell candle. You see a buy, coming, right now. A world record egg, all right? So they've got ads and a small boost, all right? So maybe look at the 1 minute on this one. So yeah, what I don't really care for, are this massive sell pressure, right? So they had a run here, they had a run here. I'm not inclined to believe they're going to do that again on this chart, but at the end of the day, it is good to see that they've had a couple of runs, but I would personally think that this was probably close to running out of gas, because when you got this kind of sell pressure continuing to return to the chart, that's not necessarily a good thing. All right, so looking at Bobo here, let's look at the 1 minute. So, all right, so they've got several runs, on this chart, and then massive sell pressure here. So this is another one where I'm not so sure that they're going to do what they're doing in here again. I've mentioned many times, when we looked at charts, that it's hard to ask a chart to continue to make these runs. So I think for this one, this is one that I would likely say is not likely to do what they did, here, 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 and here again. Okay, we're talking five runs, right, on this chart. So yeah, let's see here. Let's go to after. They've got ads, small boost. Let's look at the 15 minutes. Okay, so the chart actually looks pretty decent, but I think if I were to set anything on this, it would probably be an under alert, just because of where the candle's at on the chart. Let's see here. They're currently sitting above 100K. So let's see. They've got a Telegram. Yeah, you can see all of these had a Telegram except for this one. This one's got a Discord, but they still, looks like they have communities, right? So 15 minutes. This one doesn't look too bad, but we're not going to look at this one just because they've got a Discord. And to stay consistent, we typically only look at the ones with Telegrams. But you're always free to go ahead and take a look, at anything I've talked about here on the video. You can go back and be searching out on your own. Okay, so we're going to go back here, and we're going to uncheck the advertising, and it should adjust our results, some. So, and it did. Okay, so we looked at this one. Soul Back Fund, I don't think that we looked at that one, so we're going to do that. The Last Ride, sure. Chain Mind, Solana, Hobo. Okay, let's take a look at that. What'd you get done this week? This is an Elon Musk token, so we'll take a look there. Rip Solana, this is actually one that I took a look at yesterday, and I found this one like super early. I think I found this one under 10K, and this one did extremely well. So I actually took a position in that one. So let's see here. And I only took an interest in this one just because of what was going on with Solana yesterday, but they originated from Pump Fund. Let's see. So I don't even know if they have a Telegram because I didn't look. Pope Francis, no, we won't look at that. So let's see here. Egg, we looked at that one. Bobo, we're going to clear this one. I'm not looking at that one. Let's see here. FTX. I think we're going to leave this one alone too, just because of what the chart looks like. Okay, so the Last Ride, we get a Telegram. Okay, this one looks okay. Mind, okay, this one's also Pump Fund token. I actually didn't take much interest in this one, but it looks like the chart's okay, and it looks like they made it to Radium, obviously, and so I did not expect that, when I saw that originally this morning. Let's see here. Actually, this one this morning that I saw that one, or last night? So yeah, this was actually yesterday. Yeah, I saw this yesterday, and I didn't check this out any further than beyond seeing the alert for it. But they got a Telegram, so we'll take a look. And this one, Solana Hobo, chart not looking so hot, so we'll leave it alone. What'd you get done this week? This is, obviously around that whole, Elon making sure federal employees, responded to him in regards to what they got done this week. And if they didn't, then, if you hadn't heard, then they were supposed to be, he would take it as a resignation. But even for me, I look at something like this where it's like, you have any idea the sheer scope of amount of federal employees, that work for the government? Like, it's a ton. And I think for Doge, they don't really have a ton of people associated with Doge, so I just can't imagine how they'd be able to get through, all those emails personally, but that's just my own thoughts in regards to that. So, all right, this one, not crazy about this chart, so I think we're going to leave this one alone too. And this one definitely, we're not going to touch that. So let's go back here, and then what we're going to do, we're going to leave the boosting alone. We're going to go just to simply to ads and see if we get anything different here. Infinite token glitch, sure. Let's take a look there. That's a play off of infinite money glitch. InvestNX, okay. So we'll take a look at that. This is Vault Zero wormhole. Sure, we'll take a look at that one. Bobo. Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll take a look at these, and then we'll start looking into the channels. Remember the token glitch, not crazy about the chart, so we're going to leave that one alone. InvestNext. Chart doesn't look, it looks a little better than the last one, so we'll take a look at this one. And then this one we already looked at. It's got Discord, so we're not going to investigate that further. Oh, okay. So Bo was getting some buys returning to it. All right. So I'll tell you what, since we're seeing some buy activity, we'll keep that one out. All right. So at this point, what we're going to do, we're going to start looking into the channel. So give me a moment. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and let's start taking a look at channels. All right. So here we go. Okay, so it doesn't look like they've got a portal on this one. So it looks like this is just the main channel. So with that being said, we can see some spam entering the chat. Want to see that one get removed. So we can see evidence of active moderation. So not seeing that yet, but we are seeing buys coming into into this particular token. Last buy came in at 12:38. That's what I got on my clock. All right, so, but the spam's still there. So if we see more of that, then this is going to be one we're going to avoid. As far as active trending, not seeing evidence, of that so far. Definitely not seeing anything going on as far as any rating is concerned. Let's see here. Let's see what they got here in the pin message. So just one pin message, and that's, a live, in regards to a live stream, so, okay. So in regards to this one, my only, I got two concerns. One, we're not seeing anything in terms of pin messages, concerning, any kind of, communication, from the team, to the community. We're not seeing active moderation in regards to spam entering the chat. So with those couple of things, they may not be massive issues, but for me, it's enough for me to say that I would not want to follow this particular token. We could also see, just, a ton of sells, coming into the chat right now, or coming into this chart, right now. We can see some buys right here, but at the end of the day, I'd want to see more communication, coming from the team. I'd also want to see, evidence of the team being active, in terms of taking care of spam, because those things, to me, at least for me personally, those things matter. And I don't know, what else they're doing marketing wise, so sure, they've got the ads going, they've got the boost going, and they've obviously spent some, pretty decent chunk of change, in regards to that. But, there's no real engagement in the community. So what's being done to go ahead and shill this token, to anybody else, to bring new buyers, into the chat once the boost is done, and that's a 24-hour thing. So who knows when they paid for that, but once that's done, then you lose a massive, when a part of your marketing, so yeah, those are things that leave me with concerns in regards to this one. Now, again, when I share this stuff with you guys, I just kind of try to give you some insight into how I look at this stuff, what I'm looking for, and, what would lead me to want to continue to follow a token, and what would also lead me to shy away from a token as well. And some of the things that I'm sharing with you is exactly what would lead me to shy away from it. So the chart can only tell you part of the story, but when you get into the channel and you see what's going on in the community, that can also fill in a lot of blanks for you too, so. All right, so we're going to go ahead and leave this one. And this is also another example where I've told you guys, I've seen people go ahead and pay massive, massive money, for boosts and for ads. And that alone is not going to keep a token above water. It's just not going to do it, so you need other things, other things that serve as signals, to bring people in and to, serve as a catalyst, for why somebody would want to share the token, with maybe friends, with other communities, to continue to bring, that buy pressure, into the chart, so, and I'm just not seeing that with this one. So we're going to go ahead and close this one out. This one is the anti-yay community. We can see they've had some more buys, since the last time we took a look at this one. The chart looks really good as far as its recovery, from the bottom levels. All right, so buy pressure continues to go ahead and come into this one. Now, there has been news that Kanye was going to go ahead and release a token this week. Me personally, my own feelings about that is that, I think a lot of people go ahead and follow these celeb tokens, way, way, way too much. Because again, my personal feeling about it is that these celeb tokens tend to benefit the celeb and nobody else. Way too many insiders associated with this stuff, so by the time you go ahead and you catch wind of it or you get in it, you're already, they're already selling on you. I mean, that's just a fact. We've seen that with a lot of tokens. Even when CZ, was teasing, the name of his dog, and that token came out, and so we had the broccoli nonsense, and they were just derivatives, of it, and there were always deployments, and people were getting rugged left and right, So when and you do have a lot of influencers, out there just talking about how, oh my gosh, join, my Telegram, and this is your chance to go and make millions. People that are following that nonsense, you are just asking to get wrecked. It is a guaranteed. Yes, there are people that get lucky and they do find the CA, whatnot early on, but that ain't most of you. I mean, it's just not. It's not most people in crypto. Most people are going to get wrecked, trying to go ahead and follow this nonsense, So, however, if you're one of the lucky few that happens to go ahead and benefit, from, whatever Kanye's token is, great, happy for you. But that's not going to be most of you. I mean, it's just a fact. So, and then there's also news that he sold his Twitter account, I think, so who actually knows who's going to be deploying, whatever token that he's talking about. So, all right, that's my little rant, in regards to that. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the channel. So let's see here. And so we can see that market cap. Can that be right? That can't be right. Why are we seeing a market cap of 1,400? That makes no sense at all. Okay, so that's a little bit confusing to me to be seeing this market cap here, when clearly the market cap, is what we see, here, which is pretty much around 140K, right? So yeah, to me, I'm not really sure what's going on there, but this, they got to go ahead and fix that in their channel as far as the buy bot's concerned. So, all right, but either way, let's go ahead and let's sit down here. We're still getting active buys, right? So, we're looking for any sign. Okay, so we're seeing trending here. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that they're actually on the leaderboard. I'm going to go ahead and join just to make sure I can go ahead and get back, just fine. So, all right, and so it looks like you got to go ahead and do 86 minus 30. So what are we looking at? 50. Oops, wait a minute, 56. So there we are. All right, good. Want to make sure I can get my math right? So, okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to delete this, stop and block the bot. Then we're going to go back here. Okay, so let's see here. We saw trending. I got to make sure that I can find trending again, because we want to make sure that they're on the leaderboard. And of course, now that I'm trying to find it, I can't find it. Okay, here we are. So let's see. It should be number 10, and we're looking for Sol. Okay, so is this it? Okay, yeah. So there we go. So they are active on the leaderboard, which is good to see. Okay, so, and I don't see any active raids taking place. I just see a lot of the buy bot stuff. So. Okay, all right, so no rating that I can see. Let's take a look, in the pinned messages, so that's something here for X. Okay, let's see, they want you to go ahead and just hit 4 on the Dex. All right, the dev's going to go live when Ye drops a coin. So again, this is coming back to that news that I was talking about. All right, so yeah, I mean, there's some information, there. Okay, so with that being said, I mean, they're getting some buys, they've got the ads, they've got the, they've got the boosts. They've also got the Solana trending, as well. So I think it makes sense to go ahead and set a couple of alerts here. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Let's make sure that we have this market cap correct. This says 125, and it looks like this is okay 124. So yeah, so we're going to go here. We're going to set this at 124. Okay, so that's going to be our found market cap on the over. We're going to do, I don't know, let's say 140K. All right. And then on the under, okay, we're going to paste that back in. And on the under, let's go ahead and let's set it at 100K. All right, so that's good enough. And then we'll see if any of that triggers. We're going to go on to the next one. This one, FTX. All right, not digging the charts. We're going to leave it alone. This one looks like it's trying to go ahead and make another run, but as seen previously, every time it ran up, it retraced extremely hard. All right, so we're looking at a minus 31, on the 1 hour over here. Let's take a look at the Telegram. Let's see what they got going on. So it looks like they've got some trending going on. We're going to go ahead and just join the group because it doesn't look like we get we're not getting a portal on this one. So there we go. So we're going to check out the leaderboard, make sure that the world record egg is on there. If this would stop for a minute. Okay, so there we go. We can see it's there. Okay, so that's good. So they're trending. They got the raid going. Let's see what they were asking for. No bookmarks, 4 replies. Okay, let's see here. Let me find my raid again. All right, so as I missed it, it's gone. There we go. Okay, they're looking for no retweets and 10 likes. So really all they're looking for is likes and replies. All right, so they're making some progress, here. They're saying some stuff, here in the, this is just talking about their boost in the pinned messages, so we're going to come back on out. And obviously we already know, they've got the boost, they've got the ads going too. So this one, we'll go ahead and we'll set, we'll set 2 alerts, so obviously they just got to buy there. So, and then a sell. So here we go. We're going to be going for 116 on the market cap. 116, and on the over, let's set this for 130. Okay. And then on the under, let's set this for 90K. All right, so there we go. We'll see if any of those trigger. And then here, this one really hasn't moved, at all. So very little going on here on the 5-minute and the 1 hour. So I'll tell you what, we're going to leave this one alone. There's really no activity. And then this one, obviously, this one's moved, since the last time we took a look at it. So we're going to take a look at their Telegram, see what they got going on. Okay, so we get a verification portal. Okay, so no, we don't. So actually, you get the verification portal, but once you come in, it doesn't look like there's any way to go ahead and even access a community on this one. So this one right away, we already know we're going to simply leave this one alone. So they're getting activity and buys that are coming from their 200x boost. That's it. So they got nothing else going on, and there's no way to access any kind of Telegram for this particular token. So this one, we are going to leave this one alone as well. And keep in mind, if you're somebody new, this is all part of the filtering process. Now, looking at this one for Chain Mind, and not a lot of activity since the last time we looked at it, but let's take a look at it anyway. Okay, so here we go. And this is simply because I saw this one yesterday, and so I just I never checked out to even see if they had a channel. So I'm doing that now with you guys, here on camera. So let's see here. So they're getting buys. Last buy came in at 12.48. That was a minute ago. Okay, so all right. So the buyback activity is pretty good. No evidence of any rating going on. I don't see any kind of Solana trending, going on, either. Let's see here. They said they're going to be hosting a live AMA session. Okay. And if this is this today, whoa, hold on. We will moderate. Okay. It's just something happened to, I guess, one of the channels. Okay, so this is here. Is this today? So this is today. So this would have been at 20 Eastern time. I don't know. I don't even know how to read that. I don't know if they're talking about 2 o'clock. What's 20 Eastern time? So, okay, but either way, they talked about a live AMA. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and exit this one. Come back out here. Set 2 alerts on this one. We're setting at 124. Okay, so we're going to go over here and 124K on the found. So that's going to put us at 140K as far as the alerts. And then on the under, let's go to 90K on this one too. All right, so we're good. We're going to close this. Oh, never mind. Okay, now looking at InvestinX. So they got ads on this one, but no boosts. So let's take a look, at the channel. All right, so we got a verification portal. Good to see. Just waiting. Okay, so here we go. Let's go and let's get in there. We got just over 2,200 people or subscribers to this particular channel. And last buy came in at 12.50, which was a minute ago. All right, so any kind of rating or trending on this one? Not seeing anything yet. Okay, so here's a raid. This one, they're almost done with it. They're 60% of the way on the replies, 70% of the way on the retweets, and 80% of the way on the likes. But with as many people they've got in here, they obviously should be able to complete this one no problem. Surprised it's not done yet. And then I'm not seeing anything in regards to trending yet. Okay, I think we would have already seen that. So as far as their pinned messages, okay, so just something from the guys owning the channel. All right, so they're talking about going live soon, spaces, and a VC in the Telegram as well. Okay, so what is this? Comment, guys. I don't know, they're plugging something in. All right, not really sure what that is. So, okay, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump back on out of here. We're going to close this one out. And so for this, let's set 2 alerts. We're sitting at 75K. So go into market cap 75K. And oops, let me go ahead and copy that. All right, so on the over, let's go ahead and let's set this at 90K. And then on the under, let's set it at 50, 55. We'll set it at 55. Okay, so that's good enough. And then we'll close this out. And then this one, yeah, I still think I'm going to leave Bobo alone. I'm just not crazy about this one. But with that being said, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for us, in regards to today's video. Appreciate you guys as always, for joining the channel, the series, and seeing what we can discover, through Dexscreener today in the midst of a pretty red market, but with that being said, as far as Bobo is concerned, I just want to add, if you still want to go and track this one and follow this one, all you got to do is just go ahead and copy the name, go into search here, make sure you're lining up, the 1 hour and the 24-hour numbers. Okay, and if those don't really line up real well for you, you can always go down here to the pair and the name of the token and make sure that the last four YNNM matches up, CN7K matches up, and then you'll know you're in the right token. So, all right, but with that being said, as always, guys, appreciate you, for checking in on another video for today, and for continuing to go and follow the series. I was hoping to go ahead and find a bit more, but I am, pretty satisfied with what we found today in the midst of the market, so we'll see if any of these guys are going to go ahead and move over the next couple of days. And if they do, I'll go ahead and I'll let you guys know what happens. Okay. So with that said, if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next video.